February March 2023 पेपर 2 सेकंड केस स्टडी हम डिस्कस कर रहे हैं। पहली केस स्टडी हमने ऑलरेडी कर ली है, तो उसमें देखते हैं। वी हैव द आंसर्स इन फ्रंट ऑफ अस। पहला सवाल ये था कि आइडेंटिफाई वन फैक्टर ऑफ प्रोडक्शन। उसमें लिख दिया लैंड, और लैंड खाली लिखने से हमें एक नंबर मिल गया। कोई डिटेल्स में जाने की, पूरी लाइन या पूरा सेंटेंस लिखने की ज़रूरत नहीं है। Explain the term sole trader if it's a business in which one person provides the permanent finance and thus the full control of the business, able to keep the profits. Thomas would be able to keep all WG's profit, but he may risk losing his personal assets if he does not pay the debt since he has unlimited liability. Good definition. Case study से relationship है, application है, 3 out of 3 in that. Okay जी. Calculate the total price of Joe's order. Quoted price, total price. Okay जी, the calculation is correct. Total price calculation सही है, 3 out of 3 you will score in that. Explain the one advantage of Thomas of using cost-based pricing. Cost-based pricing is setting a price by calculating total unit cost and adding a fixed profit markup. This is an easy way to quote the final price, since the Thomas uh, can always add 50% markup on all of its customized wedding gifts he makes. Shabash. This is the application I was looking for. 50% bhi hai. So you will score full marks in that, which helps reduce time so the customers can quickly confirm or reject the order. 3 out of 3. Let's talk about the 8 marks question. Analyze one advantage and one disadvantage for Thomas of giving Joe the order for free. ओके जी, अब ये इफ़ आई रिमेंबर द केस स्टडी के ये साहब आए थे, उन्होंने कहा था कि मेरा बहुत कोई सेटअप है ऑनलाइन और बहुत फॉलोअर्स हैं, इसलिए मुझे फ्री में ऑर्डर दिया जाए. लेट्स सी. Thomas deciding to give Joe 250 wedding gifts for free can have some advantages since Joe has 0.2 million followers. 2 लाख फॉलोअर है जिसके. And social media, he would live stream his wedding. He would be able to advertise Thomas customized wedding gifts, which can increase customer awareness. Good. It increases publicity, and when his fans get married, they might order from Thomas, which increases sales and revenue. It would also create a good brand reputation when famous social media influencers would use this product, which can increase his demand more. Because of the increased sales, he would be able to afford a new 60,000 3D printer from the retained earning without taking a loan and risking going. Very good. Application bhi ho gayi. However, because there was one advantage and one disadvantage, theek hai. However, Thomas would first study what type of the following Joe has. If Joe's fans are young kids and teenagers, then giving order for free, he might incur a loss of $675 जो otherwise उसको मिलना था. ठीक है. He also has no retained earnings to cover up for this loss, which can have an impact on the positive cash flows he has. Again, application shabash. It will difficult for Thomas to cover his fixed and variable cost. He may need to increase his markup of the 50%. Again, application on future orders to cover for the loss on his one, which can reduce the demand due to the high prices. This can create more problems in financing the new 3D printers, and he would risk losing his potential wedding gifts orders. He could. Very good. Application analysis shabash. तो ये इसमें कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है इस क्वेश्चन में. यू विल स्कोर 8 out of 8 इन दिस. लेट्स टॉक अबाउट द 12 मार्क्स क्वेश्चन, जिसमें 6 मार्क्स की इवेल्युएशन होती है, और हम ये देखते हैं कि हमने उसके साथ क्या किया. इवेल्युएट द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट फैक्टर विच विल इन्फ्लुएंस थॉमस चॉइस ऑफ सोर्स ऑफ फाइनेंस फॉर 3D प्रिंटिंग मशीन. तो हमने फैक्टर चूज करने और ये बताना है कि सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट उसमें से कौन सा है. 6 मार्क्स की इवेल्युएशन है. लेट्स सी. There are multiple factors that Thomas needs to take into account before deciding whether to choose internal or external sources of finance. Firstly, the cost of finance needs to be taken into account. Thomas would need at least $60,000 in loan to be able to purchase the new machinery, since he does not have any retained profit to finance it from. Interest would be charged on the loan, which is going to increase the expenses and reduce the profits. Sahi hai, shabash. He also does not have any uh, something, but opting for what is this word? He does
और
not have any
डेट
debts,
डेट्स नहीं है. हम्म.
but opting for this method would increase his debt. He also would need to put his personal assets on collateral because he is a sole trader, which does not give him the advantage of limited liability. It would also be difficult to obtain a loan from the bank because WG has only been in the industry for 2 years. However, due to the rising demand of Thomas' personalized wedding gift, especially during the peak season, Thomas may be able to show a good cash flow to the bank, which would convince them to give the loan, which with the low interest rate, opting for the options would also good because he would not has control the ownership. He would be investing in a new machinery which can generate more output and variable cost. सही है. इस पे मेरे थोड़ा सा है मेरी है लिमिटेशन. लेट मैं इसको फिनिश कर लूँ, फिर I'll talk about. Another factor would be Thomas willing to give up the control of the ownership of the business built from the give 2 years ago. Since it is sole trader, he can try converting into partnership, which would bring in more finance in the form of the capital. There would be no interest payment, which would affect the profit. He will also be able to get advice from the partner on how to increase the demand and also share the workload. There is a risk of losing of the business because he does not have to pay anyone back. His partner would also provide for any losses made to the business as per the percentage stated in the partnership agreement. However, he would need to consult with the partner before making any decisions. He may also lose control of his. This is good because the partner would also have to share the profit, which reduces the retained profit. The capital that a new partner invests may not be enough to cover assets cost of the 60,000. Will be perfect. In conclusion, there are a lot of options for the internal and external sources of finance, okay, for Thomas. But what he chooses would mainly depend on whether he would be able to cover the cost of the finance, perfect, while being able to make the profit. Since he has no retained earning, he should make the accurate cash flow forecast, which can convince his bank to provide a loan. He should also make sure that the new machinery can provide enough revenue to cover all the cost because it does not, then he make risk losing. Second business and possibly the personal assets. While when I started reading this answer, so suddenly your focus was shifting. Your focus was shifting to merely writing the advantages and disadvantages of the sources of finance. But cleverly you shifted again जब ये आपका पहला इवैल्यूएशन खत्म हुआ और उसके बाद you move to the second analysis and the second evaluation and then the final evaluation, because the question is majorly on the evaluate the most important factor. It's not about the advantage and disadvantage of any source of finance कि वो कौन सा important factor है. You drifted a little, थोड़ा सा फोकस शिफ्ट हुआ पहले एनालिसिस और पहले इवैल्यूएशन में, बट यू केम बैक और जो दूसरा एनालिसिस और दूसरी इवैल्यूएशन और फाइनल इवैल्यूएशन थी, दैट वाज परफेक्टली फाइन. आई विल गिव यू 9 or 10 out of 12 in this question just because of the little weaker analysis of the first part, or the rest of the answer was very good. There was no problem in that. अभी इसको खत्म करते हैं.